All right, this is your man, Vince Adams, and I'm super excited about the new edition of the Voices of House Music, so check it out. Much love to everybody who's been with me for the first two shows, my man Steve Silk Hurley, the one and only big brother from the Chosen Few DJs, my man DJ Allen King, absolutely set it off last week. And don't forget, we are now officially an Apple podcast and a Spotify podcast. If you have not subscribed to Apple, if you're not subscribed to the Spotify podcast, Voices of House Music is up there waiting for you. And I can't wait to upload today's episode. So check it out. When I created the Voices of House Music, I said I was going to have the DJs, the producers, the artists, the pioneers, the legends on. But then I said, man, I got to have this brother on. But you all don't know him as a DJ. You don't know him as a producer. You don't know him from the house music scene. But he is house music through and through. And I said, I've got to have the tastemakers of house music. And that was my man, Deon Cole. He is the reason that I inserted the word tastemaker into the byline of Voices of House Music. And without further delay, I want to bring my man to the screen. Not only is he a two-time Emmy nominee, not only is he doing big things on Netflix, we're going to get into that as well. But you guys have heard a million Wendy Williams, Vlad, I don't care who it is, interviews with Deon, but it's never been about his love for house music. And that's what today is all about. So without further delay, my man, Deon Cole, come in. Oh, check that out. Deon, we got the mad scramble going on, man. So I'm gonna have to do it like this. What's up, Deon? I had a surprise for you, but everybody kept popping in and out of the room, Everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. But Deon, if it says Chuck Roberts, the voice, just understand that I had a surprise for my man, Deon. Let me stop talking. Deon Cole, man, welcome to the party right now.
What's going on, boy? How you doing, man?
I'm fantastic, man. People don't know how much goes on behind the scenes to make a show like this pop off. I had everything specifically lined up. Now we got you guys crossed up, but they see your face, man, so it's all good. So you got it. So check it out, Deon. This is how I start off every show, my brother. I need to know, when did you fall in love with house music?
First of all, congratulations to your platform, man. This is amazing, man.
I appreciate it.
Man, I remember back in the day, my cousin, Todd, rest in peace, he went to Mendel. I used to go to his house. He used to babysit me, and I remember he used to go down to the not the music, to the warehouse. He used to go to the warehouse
down on Lake Street.
He used to go down there. He used to party, and I remember one day he wanted to go, but I remember my aunt made him watch me, and my aunt went out, and he took me down there and had me like stay in the car. Like I was in the car while he was in the damn warehouse, man. Like partying. And he'll come out, check on me, and then go back in and check on me. And I just remember the music being like just crazy. And then we went to like the back door. I remember I had to use the bathroom. Took me to the back door, and I remember being in there like just like looking around, like not seeing nothing. I just remember not seeing nothing. I remember the music being crazy, people everywhere. Then fast forward to a few years later, the music box opened up, and I remember when I was in high school, and there used to be these kids, this dude named Deon Brooks, and there'd be these other cats too, man. They would come to school and they would be asleep in class, like almost like they'd just be knocked out. I remember them getting knocked out asleep, and I was like, damn, why they always sleep? And they would leave from downtown, and they would like be partying, and they'd just come to school, and they was like, man, you need to come to this like, because I think Ryan and them used to do marathons where they were like spin from like Thursday to Monday or something, right?
And we got to let them know it's a lot of first-time house heads, house visitors here just figuring out what's going on. So we got to let them know that's the infamous Ron Hardy.
So look, to everybody that's new to this, Ron Hardy is one of the greatest DJs that ever did it, or the greatest DJ that ever did it when it comes to house music and disco music or whatever. This dude was so great that, I mean, from straight to gay to white to black, everybody just admired this dude. But this dude used to play all night long. See, nowadays DJs have like opening DJs and all of that. They have a guy that opens for them and all of that. Like back in the day, if you was a DJ, like with Ron and Frankie and them, they would play the entire night, just rock. So at this one time, Ron Hardy was like, had this like, the kids at high school used to be like, that's a dude named Ron Hardy. He doing these parties, these marathons, and I remember Friday they would come to school and they'd be like exhausted, and so they was like, you should come one day. And so I remember going to my cousin's house, asking my cousin about it. My cousin said, yeah, he'd go down there all the time. So I asked him if he'd take me, and I remember we went down there, and I remember like,
Chuck, we got you, man. We need you to mute out. We got you though. You rocking.
So like they, I just remember going into the music box and the sound system was so ridiculous that I've been to concerts, I've done shows myself. I've been all over the world, man, when it comes to PA systems and all of that. I've never heard a sound system ever in my life like what I heard up in there, man. It was so... It was like rattling my organs inside my body, the way the sound used to just knock in there, dude, and it was pitch black. I remember seeing a light over the DJ stand and an exit sound light, that's it. And you just had people, sweaty bodies on you, and it was dark, and everybody jamming and grooving, and the music he was playing was so ridiculous. It was just like music I had never heard in my life, and everybody was losing their mind to it, and it was just like I was on a whole nother planet, and I just could not believe what I was witnessing. Like, and this was in Chicago, and like all this music he was playing, I ain't never heard none of this music in my life, man. And I just was like in awe of this, and I remember there. And it was like 8 in the morning. You walk outside the door, and it was like vampires. So you come out, and you just be like, sun hitting your eyes. People walking to work with their trench coats and briefcases. It was like crazy, man. And so that was always a moment in my mind of just like, yo, there's a movement down here that's crazy. And it was like, I mean, just nuts. And I just always fell in love with that movement. Fell in love with that vibe down there, man. And after that, it was just lights out. Like, that was my scene after that.
Give us a year. Like, so just to give folks an idea, like around what year was this?
Man, what year was this? This was like 82, 83. Something like 83. I think I want to say like 82, 81, 82, 83, somewhere right up in there, man. I was like a freshman. I was a freshman in high school in 85. No, it's 85. Yeah, like, this is like, like 80, 85. I can't remember. I want to say between like 82 and like.
So we can safely say like mid 80s.
Mid 80s, early 80s, like early 80s. So that's when it was, man. It was just like, it was crazy, yo. And I was in love with that scene, man. I was in love with the music. I was in love with just the whole I loved how people didn't care. People didn't care. Like, you go to a party, you got the cool guys, you got the beautiful chicks over here, and then you got like, I mean, like it was always like that. Who knew who? People talking and mingling. That would be a party that you would go to.
Right.
This party, none of that. Ain't no sitting up socializing and all that shit at all. You was dancing. You was listening to music. You was dancing, and you was trying to. Actually, you couldn't even talk with that PA system that was beating. Like you had to like scream or walk outside in order to say something. And then even in line, the bass outside was so like made you, when you was in line, you would be like, what is going on in there? You know, so those are like crazy memories of me falling in love with house music, man. It's just really like, you know, loving that whole scene.
Yeah, I said when you heard that train come through the warehouse, it sounded like there was a train coming through the warehouse.
Hey man, that was like crazy. Like I was always like, what is the purpose of that? I used to be like, but then that was the beauty of it. The more I kept going, why would he do that? The more he would do more stuff. And then I would go, well, that's the beauty of it. Why not? Right. Why not do it? Like, yo, like, even when he would be like, what's that song? Doom, 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 ding, 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 hiccup, 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 hiccup. You know that?
The hiccup version of his house, yeah.
Yeah.
His house, but the hiccup version, right.
I think it was that. I might be wrong, but what I remember Ron playing that. I think it was it. If it wasn't that, it was some type of track. It was something. But then that shit started going backwards, and he played the song backwards, and like people was going crazy, or it was like people was going crazy. He would just do whatever he wanted to do, yo. And right. It was like if he would have. If he would have had a sound of a cow going, moo, niggas would have been like,
yeah, I think one of those first songs that went backwards was "Mysteries of Love."
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Right. Yeah, Mystery.
Yeah, that. Yeah. And then it went backwards, like, what? You was like, what is he doing right now? Yeah, Mysteries of Love, that's what it was. Yeah, dude. It used to be so, but it was fresh. And Ron used to just not care, man, and just give it to you. I ain't never meet Ron. I ain't never had a conversation with Ron. I would just go to the music box and watch in awe of him and his whole aura, man, how he rocked. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, this dude here on another page, you know?
So I think, you know, a lot of people don't know about our history, so let's just take them back to like 1997. I'm starting to come up on the DJ scene. You're starting to come up on the comedy scene. We know each other from back in the day. And then in 98, my crew had this idea, my boy Joe, my man Dave, they said, man, you should do your own house CD. Now, this is when people were doing mixtapes. And they said you should do a CD, so I did 2 house CDs in 98 and 99. I'm going to show those super quick. I don't think you'll be able to see it, and everybody has to know that based on the framing that we had, it's not together where they can see us together in it, but I wanted to definitely show that so that they can see the flavor for the 9.8 and the 9.9. But I had this neighbor across the hall from me that was like real tempted to knock on the door and like, man, can you turn this down? Can you let them know who that neighbor was that lived across the hall from me when I was making these CDs back in the day?
Yo, it was me. We was neighbors, yo, living right next to each other. Man. I used to be like, who is playing this? Who is making this noise? Like, oh, this used to be knocking in there, yo, knocking. Like, man, getting it in, yo, over there right on 71st, boy.
Yes, sir.
That was a joy, though, yeah. We always, like I said, we always been down and tight, man. You always, man, was always putting it in, always, man. If you don't mind me asking, so when was your first time introduced to like like the music box and all of that.
So here's the deal. I actually was more a homebody, and I still am today. Like, I'm not the cat that you'll see me in the club when I'm not working, but the Hot Mix 5 is what turned me on to house music. So, 81, 82, Scott, Farley, those guys back in the day, that was my introduction. And then on the party side, it was Mendel. And that's where I wanted to, so I started going to the Mendel parties, and then it was the Hyde Park Racquetball Club. Then I was old enough to go to Sowers or Sawyer's, whichever one you wanted to call it, then the Warehouse. And so, just through the years, and Whitney Young, we used to have what's called sock hops. So you had my man Frank Washington, Chris Avant, Timmy and Jerry McAllister. You had all of these, Josana. You had cats from Whitney Young that were incredible DJs. So I wanted to actually go back to that with you and just talk about a quick story that happened to me when I was at Mendel. So Mendel Catholic High School is this high school that doesn't exist anymore in Chicago, no longer with us. We might have to pour out a little liquor for Mendel because it is historically known for house music parties back in the day. And so you remember when snakeskin caps were the deal back in the day, right?
I still got one.
There it is.
I got 3 of them. I got 3 of them.
So I'm in Mendel, and I see this one cat walk up in front of this dude wearing a snakeskin and tip his cap, and the other cat comes behind him and walks off with the hat, and the guy that had his hat taken is like, so that reminded me that you're an incredible storyteller. And so RIP to our man Charlie Murphy, who told the stories about Rick James and told the stories, about Prince. I need you to give us a true house story from back in the day, something that you saw and it was like, I can't believe I just saw what I saw in the club. Give us a true house story.
I was in AKAs. I was in AKAs.
Up north.
Lil Lewis was in there spinning. This one, French Kiss at first hit, and Lewis played it, and it went bananas in there. Like when it slowed down and then sped back up, like bananas. And I was on a dance floor with like 2 girls, and when it slowed down, we all like rubbing on each other, kissing on each other, going crazy. Like it was nuts. And we left. And they was like, man, let's leave. I was like, yo, we can get out of here. And I remember getting in the car, and I had both of them. I was kissing both of them.
So you're going there.
Yo, one got in the back seat. I was going to get in the back seat with her. And she was like, no, get in the front seat. Get in the front seat. You can sit up there with her. And I said, oh, okay. So I got in the passenger seat up front. The other girl got into the driver's seat, and they was like, all right, put your seatbelt on. And I put my seatbelt on, and then they both jumped out the car. And this dude lifted up from the back seat, gun in my head, and was like, give me your money and give me your shoes. I had some patent leathers on. That's when cats was wearing patent leathers. And dude took my shoes and took my money.
Dude.
And I was like, wow, them girls set me up in the club. Every time I hear French Kiss, or even if I always think about them chicks, man. I'll be like, they stuck me up, man, on French Kiss.
You're a wild boy. And this is, something that you touched on earlier. I mean, we got this crazy story from the Chi. But, give us a little deeper look, because, I mean, you say you're just a kid from the Chi. I know that directly, but let me ask this. Contrast a little deeper, like you said, you go to the LA party, maybe the Hollywood scene, it's a lot of hobnobbing, elbow rubbing, that sort of thing. What is it that you think has changed maybe a little bit in LA over the last, 2 to 5 years that you've been doing your thing with Blackish and stuff like that, or pretty much it's the same today as it was 2015 or whatever? Like contrast the Chicago flavor and what you've seen over the last 5 years with LA as it relates to the party scene.
Well, again, our music in Chicago, our music got substance. You know what I mean? And I tell people this all the time. For people that's just not listening, we're not just playing house music, or we don't listen to house music just to be listening to it either. There's a purpose with this, you know?
Right.
This was music that was banned by white people. White people hated disco. They called it gay music for gays, blacks, and Jews. I mean, for Hispanics. And they used to be like, you know, they banned it off the radio just for that purpose, because blacks, gays, Hispanics loved it, and they got rid of it. And that's what actually brought power to it, because, you know, it was an underground scene, because you really couldn't hear it nowhere else.
Right.
And so we play it for that reason, man. We play it with a purpose. You know, other places you go to, especially LA or whatever, out here, the music ain't never really been a part of the scene like that out here, no matter what genre of music. It's about you going to this party and mingling. And that's what it's about. It's some part. I remember when I first got out to LA and I was at a party, and I was like, why the music so low? This place is packed. Why they got the music so low? And they used to be like, well, they got the music low so you can talk and you can mingle. No, ain't nobody trying to mingle. Like, yo, we'll play the music. And they be like, nah, we can't turn the music up because people can't talk. And they'll complain about not being able to talk. And I was like, that is wild as hell. And I ain't saying all parties are like that in LA, but it is a lot of parties that's like that. So the music that's being played is just, you know, music that's, you know, that people listen to, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a few DJs out here that really do get it in and play really good music, and it is about music, like my man DJ As Is or DJ Most.
Victor Duplay?
DJ Kiss, yeah, Derek Wise, Duplay, Drac, and all these, and Tailwind, all these great DJs, man.
I touched down with Tendaji Lathan today.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So it's a lot of great DJs out here that put it in, and it's about the music. And so, you know, I appreciate them and I support them anytime they do get down and do something or whatever. You know, but you got to find a scene out here that's got that kind of music and that kind of energy or whatever. But overall, in LA, it's about, you know, mingling and talking to people, really, basically. You know, but the scenes that I sing, they get it in, you know, so that's pretty much the difference. And then when I go home, everybody is just like, man, beats, it's music, and it ain't the same like it used to be. Everybody old as hell. Ain't nobody jacking speakers and none of that. People, we just sit and do this now. It's just right. Like, oh, this is my joint, you know, but they ain't like it used to be, but it still is, though. Like, you'll never get rid of that vibe, that feeling, that energy when you hear that music and you're around certain people that was around back then. So, yeah, I love the crib for that.
So let me ask you, actually my girl Erica Mosley, I asked a few people online, like, hey, if you had a question for Deon, what would it be? And she asked me what I thought was an incredible question. Now that we're on this LA conversation and you travel the world, if somebody asked you what's a house head, what would your definition of a house head be?
I would just be like, a house head is somebody who just love house music, who grew up in it, or not even if they grew up in it, just they're part of that culture and they're part of that feeling and that vibe or whatever. You know, that's what I describe it. But I do want to pose a question myself that I think that we should have a conversation about.
I'm with it.
Well,
I'm with it. So
sometimes on some, can you curse on here? You can't.
Oh no, I mean it's the Deon Cole show. So I mean, if they hear, they know why they hear. So it's your show.
You can curse?
Yeah, it's yours.
Make sure. So sometimes I feel like the word house has a bad rap, and I don't use it as much as I should because I just think that it has a bad rap in a sense. When you say house music to people, I'm gonna tell you what people think. They think and this is people that's not from Chicago.
Right.
They just think like that. And a lot of people don't really mess with house music like that. They think like it's techno or it's, you know, whatever. So I try to divert away from telling people that I'm a house head or I'm into house music, because I don't want them thinking that's what it is, when it's not that. It's way deeper than that. So I always say disco and disco music and all of that or whatever in order to get people in a certain mind frame. Do you feel as though, well, by you being in Chicago and stuff, I mean, you still can use the word house and everybody understands what it is, and it's all love, and I use the word too, but to people that aren't from Chicago, when you use the word house, it puts them in a mind frame of
EDM,
technical kind of shit or whatever. So I'm asking you, do you feel that way sometimes using the word house?
I do feel like you have to, for people who aren't from the culture, you do have to kind of delineate. I'm not talking about what you would hear in Vegas or, you know, a club in Miami that says that they're playing dance music. I'm talking actual rhythm. I'm talking things that, you know, come from a soul place, not necessarily from the commercial, you know, the commercialized world. So I think that it is important, and that's really the aim of this show. I mean, this show is a show that the world's music is house music. So if you're in Ibiza, if you're in Amsterdam, if you're, you know, in Brazil, you're hearing something that actually came from what actually originated in Chicago during the era that you're talking about. And a lot of people don't have that definition and that understanding. And that's why I want to bring people to this show who aren't necessarily house heads, for them to be like, you know what, I just learned something new, or I have a new appreciation. And so it is a, you know, an exposure thing. The more that people are exposed to something and they can be educated, that's why this show really is here. So I appreciate you throwing it back at me, because they can say, hey, listen to, you know, episode number 3 of the Voices of House Music. It's on Spotify, it's on Apple, Apple Podcasts, it's on YouTube, in order for you to get that education as to what exactly house music is, not dance music or club music. House is a feeling.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And that's something that I have to explain to people a lot too, but sometimes in the grand scheme of things, just to keep it short, I just tell people disco music, and I don't want to like go through, because if I tell somebody, hey, listen to me Sunday DJ at 11 o'clock, and they go, well, what you DJing?
House music.
They go, oh, okay. And then they won't show up because that ain't their thing. But if I tell somebody, yo, I'm playing disco music, they'll be like, really? Well, let me hear it. And then when they get there, they see it's a whole house movement, it's a disco movement, and then it's a different vibe and it's a different energy, whatever. So I tend to, depending on who it is and how I need to explain it, whatever, I go back and forth with that or whatever, you know, as far as like trying to explain that to people, whatever, you know what I mean?
But here's the deal. I mean, I think that is a great subject. You know, I've seen your creativity during this period. Now, it's a lot more videos coming from you. It's a lot more videos coming from me. And people have to understand that you, with, you know, a team of producers, a team of executives and around you, it's like, well, I'm the producer, I'm the writer, I'm the editor, I'm like everything. So I'm delivering the content straight to you. And that's how this show came out, you know, during this time. So I think that it would be an excellent opportunity for you to say, you know, put out a 10-minute video that says not everybody understands house music. It's a spiritual thing. It's a body thing. It's a soul thing.
That's dope. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that neither. Like I said, with this, like right now, me and my partner, Kelly, we, my writing partner, Kelly, we sitting up and we doing a film, right now, man. We're writing it together. We just finished one film, man, and, we're doing another one right now, and, writing it, putting it together with us. So the feel of it and the storyline is so bananas, man. I can't wait for people to check this out. It is like bananas, and it's Chicago, but, yeah, that's something that me and her, we've been like kind of, you know, going back and forth with just the feel and the word of house music. Just what does it mean, and trying to get that understanding out to people that house was made because of, you know, the ignorance of others, in a sense. That's how it really became, and taking that and running with it and making it move, and like a lot of things that we do. So, yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get your your take on that.
Well, you know,
how you felt about house music.
I mean, let's keep it there because, I mean, you're a brave cat. I mean, we all heard about, and one thing I wanted this show to be about is not about what everybody else has already talked to you about. And that's why I'm you know, incredibly happy to have you here. But let's take a different angle on something that's been talked about, and that's your fashion choices. How much has the disco era, how much has the house roots that you have influenced your bravery relative to your fashion choices?
Yo, first, like, I've been wearing the shit that I've been wearing all my motherfucking life. Now, for people to look at whatever I wear on a red carpet and think that that's the way I'm just dressing every motherfucking day and shit, like, you got your own issues then, motherfucker. Like, it don't have nothing to do with me. It's a red carpet event, and I've been doing that shit. I've been wearing bell bottoms. I've been wearing this. I've been wearing that. I've been doing that shit for years. It's just the fact that you just get to know me. You saw me on the Netflix special and went, oh, that's my nigga. And then you see me, you go, well, what is he wearing? Well, I've been wearing shit like that all my whole fucking life. There's footage and footage and footage. And you can just type in my name, Deon Cole, and you can see all these outfits I wore. So for anybody to look at that shit and be like, yo, that's crazy that he wears, like, it's not. You just getting to know me, so I need to change the way that I am because you just found out who I was. Nah, I ain't doing that shit. I've been wearing what I'm wearing. I'm always wearing. And it's always come from, you know, my culture at the crib. Like, you go to a house party, you go to a disco party, a house party, you'll be in there with GDs, Spice Lords, folks, and it'll be also lawyers, doctors, everybody in there grooving, getting it in. Some of the hardest of the hardest. You can play Born This Way. And I remember seeing that, playing Born This Way, Carl Bean, and you'll have folks, Vice Lords in there, getting it into Born This Way. And the Born This Way is a whole coming out gay song, you know, and getting it in. So that mixture of just everybody being together, fashion, thugs, pretty boys, rich motherfuckers, broke motherfuckers, that whole vibe, man, that goes into the way that I always dressed and the way I always was. Like, if you know me, you know I always been like that. You know, it ain't nothing for a real nigga like me to sit back and a pair of Timbs and a shawl, goddamn it, if I want to wear that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
But that's the same bravery that I'm talking about relative to exposing people and educating them to the difference between dance music, EDM, like that same, you know, the way that you put that on your back, you know, you can put the culture on your back. That's the incredible thing. Like,
and I ain't afraid to do that.
I know you're not. That's easier than what you're doing already.
Yo, I mean, it's like this, man. It's like, I don't understand how my life is bothering yours when you got so much work to do on yourself. You rather judge me on what I'm doing. Like, nah, I ain't gotta do that. I take the culture, I take all of that and put it on my back, man, and I do, and I roll with it. It's just, it is what it is, you know. Fashion wise, fucking music wise, I like taking chances when it comes to music. I like to dance when I DJ, when I be DJing and shit. And I ain't claiming to be the greatest motherfucker at all. I ain't even good, put it like that. But I know I got a real good arsenal of fucking songs, and I like to play them. But I was with Terry Hunter one time, and Terry was like, Ron Hardy wasn't no great DJ. Like, he wasn't no great blender. But the shit he played was like, had motherfuckers going crazy. And so, and that's just what it is with me. Man, this shit is a hobby to me. I ain't trying to take nobody's job. I ain't trying to do none of that.
Oh no, trust me, we're gonna get there on the wheels. We're gonna get. No, it's all good. Let's take a quick detour though. Let's take a real quick detour. I'm so proud of you, brother, because like, I remember the days we were neighbors. I mean, literally a stone's like I could reach over. It was straight up like, you know, Martin and Gina type thing. Like, we was all in the same building. And to see where you are right now, super proud. This is an incredible time. I got two questions for you just about the time and the period that we're in the world right now. What's something that you can share with us about your success, but your struggle? Like, we see you on Netflix, we see you on Blackish and Grownish, and, you know, Angie Tribeca had its run, and a lot of fantastic things, the Emmy nominations with Conan O'Brien. I mean, you've done a fantastic job of representing the Chi, but at the same time, yourself, your family. But tell us about the struggle a little bit. What is something that, while we're in these times right now, what's something that we can borrow from your story that inspires people to keep moving forward?
Man, just being fearless, man. You got to be fearless. You got to take chances. You don't know what you are until you know. And that's just what it is. And with that comes ridicule, comes a whole lot of stuff. But you got to be able to handle that. And that's the problem with a lot of people is fear. People can't handle ridicule. They can't understand. They can't handle somebody telling them, you suck at that, or why are you doing that, or you look stupid doing that. Instead of doing it. You don't know till you know. I might be the best golfer in the world. I might be just a natural at that shit. I might be able to go out on the golf course and knock a hole in one in all 18 motherfucking holes. I don't know until I know, though. And that's the whole thing. You have to find out what you're good at. I might be the best cook, and I found out that I wasn't. But the only way that I found that out was by cooking, goddammit. And I burned down a lot of shit. I was like, okay, I'm not cooking no more. But I had to find out that I wasn't a good cook. And so that's the thing with a lot of people. They keep getting in the way of themselves. You have to at least try it. And in this lifetime, you got ample amount of time to try something. If you don't like it, you can switch it up and do something else. I mean, me doing comedy wasn't something that I really wanted to do like that. I loved comedy to death, but that wasn't like, I wasn't like at the age of 9 going, I'm gonna be a comedian. It was the fact that somebody asked me to do it, and then I was like, I'll try it. And if I wouldn't have never tried it, I never would be in the situation that I'm in. And with all the ridicule, people was like, oh, did you hear what Deon doing? He doing comedy now. What is he doing that for? People did that shit the whole time that I was doing stand-up. But the whole time I knew in my heart, this is what I wanted to do. And now, the same people who was laughing at me going, oh, he doing stand-up, he a failure and all that, you know, the times change. And so you have to not listen to these people. These people are here to motivate you. They're here to try to deter you away from what you need to be great in. And so I just wish people take that away from me. If anything, just know that I'm fearless. I don't give a fuck about what you think at all. Just know that I do not care at all. And that I'm going to do it, regardless of how it feel or whatever. I got to do it in order to find out if I can or not.
Yeah, brother, I feel you, because like this is something that for me was a passion project. I'm not an interviewer. I'm not trained in this, but I was like, these stories need to be documented. And I'm not necessarily, you know, a chosen few DJ or some of the cats on the inner circle. I've got a different reach. And what if I can bring these stories? So I may not be the best interview. I may not necessarily do it the way that it would technically be done. But I was like, let me go out here on this limb and provide something that I thought that there was a need for. So I certainly feel you.
And I commend you for that. It ain't even about, and that's the thing about anything we do. We don't have to be amazing at that shit. It's the fact that you did it. There's a lot of people that don't want you to do this. I told you probably like, you don't want to do that. You ain't gonna get this guest and that guest and this. I'm like this shit. I wanted to come on and rock with you because I want you to be able to get anybody out of me. You can go get anybody to come get down on here, man, and make this go, man, syndicated or whatever your plans are for it. You know what I mean? But it's the fact that you did it. And that's all I need to see you do. I just need to see somebody just do it without worrying about what other people think. And you did that, man. And I appreciate your platform.
Man,
great.
Right there in this groove. And definitely that's a blessing, my brother. And I absolutely said, let me set the tone with the producer, Steve Hurley, the Hot Mix 5 legend. Let me set it with my man, Alan King, Chosen Few legend and icon. But let me reach back home and talk to Deon. This is something that the culture needs, and so I appreciate you believing in me with that. And the second question I have just around this era, because I just think that we're in unprecedented times in the world, and you're a super wise cat for your years. What has this period done for your emotions and your mental strength, and also your tenacity?
What you mean, like as far as the shut-in situation, the shelter-in-place situation, gigs that you probably had lined up, like, oh, I can't wait to be here, and projects and things being moved around. How have you found yourself mentally, spiritually, and emotionally through this process? Well, it's a strengthening. That's what it was. It was a strengthening of you against you. And that's how I felt. I felt like this was a strengthening from God, showing people who they really are and how to get back to who you was. It was so much vanity going on, man. I mean, it was so much vanity. I remember going out with people, man, and selfies all night long, just constant selfies and selfies and selfies. And I used to be like, why can't we have a conversation without taking a goddamn picture? Like, just chill. Like, man, like, why everything we gotta do gotta have a picture? Why can't we just live in the moment, And this was just a strippening from God, I think, man. It's just like making you get right back to who you were, man. And being natural, being you, just getting in touch with yourself and making a better you. And that's how I took this time, man. And I'm taking this time to just be a better me and to also learn new things, man, and do new things. If this ain't the best time in the world, in order for you to pick up a hobby or you to start a business or start something creatively, this is like the prime time for you to do that. And if you come out of this pandemic the same way you went in, use motherfucking cool. Just like you doing right now, man, with this platform you got, man, for you to do this. This is amazing. You're gonna come out of this pandemic with this beautiful platform you got right here, man. This is fantastic. And if everybody wants that go with DJs, actors, comedians, man. With the way the world is going right now, with virtual reality, virtual this, virtual that, Zoom, live, all of this, and you mean to tell me you still gonna be in the same predicament that you was in before that? You see the world changing right in front of your face? I can't fuck with you. If you in the same position that you was before this, and we get out of this and I see you doing the same shit, I'm gonna get real little on you. Because you had an opportunity to do it. I don't care, even if it didn't flourish, at least you tried. And if I know that from people that I know, man, if you didn't even try, I just don't want that energy around. I want to be around innovative people. Whether it worked or it didn't, at least you tried. And that's all that I want. That's all I want to be around. I want to be around the people who put in effort to do something different. So that's what I got out of this whole thing and what I'm getting out of it.
Now that's huge, brother, because you've been around TV in a huge way, since Conan. So, I mean, many years at this point, and people are watching this and they're seeing names fly around and pictures change and everything. I'm producing this show real time, right in front of everybody. We had everything perfectly laid out. You came in and out of the room 4 different times. Like, Deon, get out, come in, get out, come in. Somebody was like, my man Keith was like, did the counter restart? But the thing about it is, honestly, I didn't know anything about what we're looking at 2.5 weeks ago. Or 3.5, a half week before the first show. I said, I'm going to learn this overnight and just put it together. So, I appreciate you putting it out there, because it's setting in with me that, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm not letting this moment stop me from emerging. And let's talk about your I'm sorry, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just saying that that's why I'm here, man. I did so many interviews. I did a I did a COVID relief fund for Chicago.
I wanted to talk about that. So please share with us about the telethon.
I've done a lot of interviews, man. I've been on Wendy Williams. I've been on everything. I'm gonna be on the talk next week. You know, I'm mad interviews, man. I did something with Byron Allen off Feed America.
Saw that.
Eddie Murphy, Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, you made a new friend. You made a new friend on the show. I saw it.
A lot of great comedians on there, whatever, you know. And so I've done a lot of these different kind of interviews and stuff, but like I told you before, as produced and as great as those things were, just by you trying makes me be here. You get what I mean? You putting this together and you going, yo, I'm putting this together. I got a vision. That's like I told you before. If I see you try, if I see a person try, I'm there. And yo, you put it together, I'm mad. Because that's all I really need sometimes, just a boost from other people to validate stuff and all of that. And so, man, dude, I like I said again, I appreciate you putting this together, man. And that's why I'm here, though. You know what I mean?
No, I mean family all day. I appreciate that. And I was saying, I see you met a new friend on the Feeding America show as well. Was it Stan?
Yes.
Yeah, I peeped you. So let's get into you trying. You brought it up, and let's get back to the music. So we've got this cat. I remember it may have been about 5 weeks ago. I was on Instagram, and it was like Deon Cole is going live, and I was like, it was like a Saturday night, maybe at about 9:30, and I was like, is Deon DJing? I was like, wait a minute. So then we fast forward to now, brother. They can see you on the screen, DJing. I'm calling you DJ Coleslaw. I'm sure you've gotten a ton of different nicknames through this, but you are banging it. And I didn't want to say this before the people got to see you rock, and they're watching right now. And the sound is down, and I'll give it to you in replay. But man, I was like, this cat is. There's a difference between being on beat and on the right beat, and the DJs out there know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between letting it breathe and just kind of catching the outro and letting it breathe and then creating a new run. Dude, you are doing all of this and you're going through shirts. It's like you sweating through shirts at the same time. People look at me like, why you sweating? I'm like, because I'm working. I'm up here getting it in. Like, it ain't the shot I took. Like, this is a lot of work. So, you know, do us a favor, man. Take us through this evolution. What made you move from the dance floor to behind the DJ stage?
Well, I always had a catalog. I've had a catalog, man, for I don't know how long. I'm gonna tell you a hobby that I do. I don't do it as much as I used to now because I don't buy too many albums like I used to. But one of the things that I used to love to do is I used to love to buy people's albums, and then I would guess the single that they would drop.
Oh wow!
I would guess the first and second single. I would go, they should drop this first and they should drop this second. And 80% of the time I would be right.
Wow!
And I used to. It was just a hobby. I ain't never told nobody or nothing. It's just something that I just would love to do. I buy a person album to do that. So I always had a catalog of music. Anytime I was in Chicago, I will always be at some disco spot, or I even came and saw you a few times.
Oh, absolutely. Park Tavern.
What's the name of that place?
Park Tavern.
Yeah, Park Tavern. I came and saw you a few times. I come up in there and people thought I was just in the house hanging out, but I was sitting back listening to the groove, you know, and listening to you groove and just listening. And I would go listen to Terry, or I would go listen to Mike Dunn, or, you know, I'll just go listen to cats, you know, and just listen to them play, you know, and just like, and then I would collect music, and it was music that I would hear that you all would break, and I would be like, man, I ain't never heard that, and that's great, and I would like save it and keep it in my catalog and come to LA and play it. And even before I was living in LA, I used to do that. And so I just always had music with them. And so 3 years ago, I went and bought some turntables, and I was like, man, I'm gonna learn how to DJ. And when I bought it, I had started filming. My film schedule really kicked in, man. I was doing like 2 movies. I was still shooting Grownish and Blackish, and I was doing like a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I the equipment that I had just sat there, and I ain't never do nothing with it. So it just always had it, but I never did nothing. So moved to this quarantine. It was my man Cootie and JIV and all us and my girl Tracy. They all used to be like, hey, I knew D-Nice from just doing parties and kicking it. D-Nice was always very, very cool, man, very cool. And so they were like, D-Nice DJing. You should come over and just listen to him because we all on lockdown. Come over here. And I think it was like 160 people. So that was all he had listening to him. We was just all over there just talking and texting and just doing us. And D was playing and shouting us out and shouting out other people. And it was just, this was before D took off. And so it was just a vibe. And then I was like, man, that'd be cool if I DJ'd and did it from my home in front of people on live. Because then I ain't got to be in front of a group of people. That'd be great. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull my DJ equipment out and just practice and play on it. So that's what I was doing. As I was practicing, I see D-Nice people going from 160 people to 500 to 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000, 20, 100. I'm like this, yo. While I'm still week to week, I'm just practicing, putting together like a little thing that I'm trying to learn. And so I remember the first time I went on, I was like, yo, I'm gonna call myself DJ Coleslaw and just play around, and just, be bullshitting. And I always told people, I do not know how to DJ, and I'm not a DJ, I promise you. So I just go on, and I would just play, and people would be like, don't quit your day job, man. Yo, you gonna learn, and we gonna support you, and there was all that, like, or it'd be like, you was terrible, or people would be laughing, leaving all kind of cry faces in my on my page. And I just was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn this shit. I'm gonna learn it, and I'm gonna do it in front of everybody.
Wow.
I'm gonna learn this shit in front of everybody, and I'm gonna have everybody go, yo, we watched him. I'm gonna make you watch me become good. And I was like, I'm just gonna do that. That's gonna be my passion. I'm gonna become good right before your eyes. And I just was like relentless, and I just spent every day, and I listened to music, and I kept playing, and putting shit together, and DJing, and learning, and bringing in, and setting cues, and learning all this shit, man, and putting it together until and I was doing it my way. I love to dance. I always loved to dance, and I was like, man, I'm gonna dance while I'm DJing.
Well, we watching you, and you haven't stopped moving yet. The videos, you have not stopped moving yet.
Man. I be rude to Jack. I be in the zone, baby. And so I was just like, man, that's just how I felt. I felt like dancing and moving and DJing, and I just felt like that. And then I started realizing that people start telling me like the way they feel happy, they feel good, and man, you getting better, and man, this music you playing, I ain't never heard it, and I Shazammed it, and it's great, and man, where'd you get that song, and who's that? And then everything went from don't quit your day job to
when's the next show?
Man, where's that song?
Yeah.
Where you get that song? And man, that blend was great, and man, you put that together, and damn, and then it was people hitting me going, hey man, can you play this song for me and shit? And I was just
you breaking records now.
Yeah, like people was hitting me like, yo. And then I had other DJs, well-known DJs, was hitting me going, hey man, what was the song you played? And I was just like, man, where'd you get it from? I'm like, I do research. Every night I go on the internet and I look for songs, I look for music, I do research, man. And I told myself I found it. And sent it to them, and like it just started going, and then people just started going, man, I love this, man, you killing it, and all the comments start changing from that to, man, you killing it, you getting it, and then it started going, nigga, you started being one of my favorite DJs, and then Questlove came to me. Questlove was DJing one night. He was DJing, and I came on his page, and I was just listening to him, and Questlove stopped his DJing, And he said, hey, Deon. He was speaking on the mic, yo. He was like this, Deon Cole, you becoming one of my favorite DJs, man. You playing some shit over there, man. And he was like, man, I love it. I come over there all the time, man. You playing some shit. Then I went back on his page and he was like, D, you one of my favorite DJs, yo. Like, dude, you be getting it in. And I was like, damn. Then Snoop started coming to my page. And then I was like, okay, and Ava DuVernay. And then it was Jamie Foxx. And I was just like, yo, okay, something happened. Then one day I just went and DJ'd one Thursday, man. Just, I ain't promoted, I ain't do nothing. And then after I finished, you know how you hit your live afterwards and to show you the total?
Right.
It was like 20,000 people, yo. And I was just like tripping, you know, like, yo. And then I just was like, okay, wait a minute. And then it kind of gave me the courage to start, you know, like really embracing what I'm doing. You know, start embracing it and start really going, okay, I'm doing something. And I always tell people to this day, I'll be like, I'm not a DJ. I'm not. I'm just playing music the way that I like to play it. I always get that disclaimer up top. And I play music the way that I play it, whatever. But people start being moved by it. And, you know, playing a lot of gospel music incorporated within my music. And it just started motivating people, man. And just, you know, during this quarantine time, and it just started taking a life of its own, man. And I just was like, man, this is crazy. And so, you know, here we are now. You know, we doing 20 plus every Sunday, you know. And, man, we rocking. I'm playing. Louis Vega hit me up.
Wow.
He was like, dude, you great, man. He said, I told him, I said, dude, I ain't no great DJ. And he said the same shit Terry said. He was like, dude, you ain't gotta be no great blender. He was like, it's the energy that you bring and the song selections that you play. And he was like, man, I'm gonna sing some music. And he sent me like maybe 60 to 80 songs, man. I've never heard before and some that's heard before.
Wow.
Cuts, man, I just been playing the motherfuckers, dude. And like I played this Sunday. I played a couple of songs, cause I always play this music, but man, I played this song Sunday, man, that was so hard. It was people crying on it, man, like, crying on it, and that blew my mind, that people was crying on the music, y'all. I was like, man, something special happening, you know, but and Terry sent me some shit too, man, and I played some shit Terry had too, man, and man, it's been like, it's good for me to be in my own lane and just doing what I'm doing and just having fun, you know what I mean? I'm just having fun and playing music while I'm playing, but for people to gravitate to that, you know what I mean, and gravitate to, you know, my emotional connection to the music that I'm playing. I ain't just playing this shit, I'm singing it, I'm dancing it, I'm living it. You know what I mean? And so, well, yeah, here we are.
Homie to homie, I need you to do me a favor. Today, me and you, favor. Never again say, I'm not a DJ. You can say, I ain't trying to take nobody's job, because I think that's the nature of where the statement is coming from, and that's a true statement. But brother, I've watched several shows, and you are a DJ. Like, I'm listening to, I'm like, this dude is good. Like, this is incredible. Like, this is a hot set. And trust me, we all know the celebrity DJ run where, you know, you get paid a couple racks to show up the name, but the skills ain't behind the name. That ain't you. And I understand that you're like, hey, Derek, move over. Or, you know, Quest, move over. Like you said, you got your own lane, but make that promise to me. You will never again say, I'm not a DJ, brother, because you are a DJ.
I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best to consider myself that, but I feel like I got so much work to do, man, and I feel like that in order for me to consider myself that, I have to really, you know, I got to put in work, man. I mean, like yourself, man, and other great DJs, man, I don't even want to offend nobody about what I'm doing, because I know my shit just be out of silliness. Well, it was out of silliness. Now it's like really like, something, you know, but I appreciate you.
I'm calling you a DJ. Now, you don't have to call yourself a DJ because I know you don't want the stigma and we know how folks get. But never again say, I'm not a DJ.
Okay, well, I promise you that I would never not say I'm not a DJ.
Fair enough. I appreciate that.
There you go.
So let's get into, Disco Sunday Fellowship, Well, Snap. Talk to us a little bit about the projects that you're doing around your energy during this time with the shirt line, the hoodies that you're sporting right now. Let us know how we can catch that and let us know when your show is, when we can listen in. I know you're doing some pop-ups, but you got your Sunday regular spot coming in.
We got our whole line of t-shirts and hoodies and stuff that we sell, man. It's good. It's from my Netflix special. Some different sayings that I was saying, like slap and wealth and all that. We got those. Also have our Disco Sunday Fellowship t-shirts, man, that we got. It's online. You can go to DeonCoStore.com and pick it up, man. Support. Appreciate everybody. Take a picture in it too, man. Take a picture in it. I'll post it or whatever, and just put it out there or whatever, man. Got my Easy Scratch hair tools that we be selling, man, at easy-scratch.com. Like, go get that. But, we got a lot of projects we're working on, man. Got animation that's on Netflix right now, Kipo. Shout out to the whole team, DreamWorks that I work with on animation Kipo in our second season. Grownish and Blackish, still rocking that. New movie.
In the beginning, there was.
It's on YouTube right now. It's called 2 Minutes of Fame. Jay Farrow, Cat Williams, Kiki Palmer, myself. The trailer's on YouTube. Y'all can go check that out as well. And a couple other TV shows in the works, man. My man Neil Brandon got one on Netflix that we're doing. And something on Fox, man, that's going to be popping off soon, man. Y'all go check out. It's crazy, too. So, yeah, man, I'm just working hard, man, and writing, too. Me and my writing partner, Kelly Callie, she won an Oscar short, man, for her movie that she did called Lalo's House. And been creating. We just finished the script. And we writing a new one right now. Like I said, that's the house one that we're doing right now. So, man, we just staying busy, man. We just staying busy, keeping it together,
But check this out. I told you I had a surprise for you, and I think it's about time for me to unveil the surprise. So check it out. Let me ask you a question. What acapellas have you dropped on top of your sets for your Disco Fellowship Sunday?
What type of acapella?
Have you been dropping any acapellas?
No, I did. No, I haven't. I don't think I did. No.
Well, they won't see your face for this one, but you're familiar with this one.
In the beginning, there was Jack, and Jack had a groove, and from this groove came the grooves of all grooves. And while one day viciously throwing down on his box, Jack.
So, Deon.
I played that one time. One time I played it. Yeah.
So here's the deal, Deon. I need my man Chuck Roberts to come in on the scene. I asked Chuck, I said, Chuck, I need a blessing from you because my man Deon Cole has been ripping it up. But if you're a hot DJ, you gotta have your own hot drop. You want to hear your drop, brother?
Dude, quit playing.
In the beginning, there was Jack, and Jack met this fool. While amazingly cool, but nonetheless, yet still a fool. Now, some of you might be wondering, who is Deon Cole and what is it that Deon does? Deon is the one that can turn your frown upside down. Deon is the one that will make your side crack when everything is white. Deon is the one that can bring nations and nations of all laughters together under one house. You may be black, you may be white, you may just be whack and plain out of sight. It don't make a difference in Deon's world, and D is dope.
My brother, if you came to the show, we had to do something real special for you. my man Chuck Roberts. Chuck, come on out, brother.
Yo, what's up? What's up, D? What's good?
Hey,
what's up, boy?
Hey, Deon, I got to tell everybody a real quick story. I was talking to Aaron, who is the man that makes everything happen behind the scenes for Chuck. And Chuck is called the voice of house music. And it was absolutely a blessing to me that Chuck said, hey, man, you got my blessing. If you want to tell the voices of house music story, absolutely move forward. But we had to have the voice of house music lay down a special drop. Deon, I'm going to text that one over to you, brother. That's going in the next mix. Chuck, say what's up to your boy, Deon.
What's up, Deon? What's up? What it look like, man?
Yo, man, blessings on blessings. Yo, dude, that's amazing. Thank you so much, family. Yo, I appreciate you, my dude. That's crazy, yo. Yo, Vince, Chuck, yo. Dude, I'm rocking that Sunday, yo.
Man, on your success, brothers. You're doing big, and we need more than brothers, and we need to, recognize more cats like you, man, especially for a young brother. Hey, you let me know, nigga. You done, young. I got much respect and mad love for you for everything that you're doing.
Man, thank you so much, Chuck, man. I'm speechless.
Let's run it back, because I know.
You are a legend, Chicago legend, yo. I'm telling you all day long. For you to do that, man, blow my mind.
Let's run it back, Deon, so you can hear it. And I'm sure a lot of the crowd missed it. And we got the legend himself, the voice of house music, Chuck Roberts. Let's hear that one more time.
In the beginning, there was Jack, and Jack met this fool. While amazingly cool, but nonetheless, yet still a fool. Now, some of you might be wondering, who is Deon Cole and what is it that Deon does? Deon is the one that can turn your frown upside down. Deon is the one that will make your side crack when everything is white. Deon is the one that can bring nations and nations of all laughters together under one house. You may be black, you may be white. You may just be whacking plain out of sight. It don't make a difference in Deon's world, and D is dope.
So Deon, Chuck wanted to return the favor, brother. You actually did a cameo for him in his last music video. You shut it down, and Chuck was like, man, I'll be more than happy to return the favor. So I need for everybody out there to go and see Chuck Roberts' video. He is absolutely the voice of house music. Look that up, Chuck Roberts, the voice of house music. Watch the video. Chosen few DJs in there. Lori Branch, lots of legends in that video. Chuck, man, what you got going on? Let the folks know where they can catch you and what's going on next with you.
Now, first of all, Vince, I want to say much respect to you, bro. You off the chain with everything you do. One of the coolest cats in the game, and I really enjoy every time I get to that much, but I just want to say that, and I want to thank you for this opportunity to come on your show. And this going to blow up, Doc. You can't be broke. Hey, man, just keep on keeping on this. You get it right. And as far as what I got coming, I got a new single out on Ultra. It's called I Choose to Live. Everybody really heard it. Y'all need to get it, at least rush, just check it out, because what it is a very uplifting speech in it, talking about what's going on. No matter really what happens, man, one happens to like the time to take it, but no matter what happens, just keep pushing. If you keep pushing, you'll make it. We're going to make it for whatever's going to come. Quitters never win, winners never quit. But yeah, y'all get the chance to check out that I Choose to Live. I think I enjoy it, man. Then I got something new coming out on the sneak tip, man. It's going to the night, though. I'm getting a chance to really do some soulful house without sleeping excited about it. I do the positive little thing, man. It's cool. But this is another side of me. This is a different side of me, man. I'm going to get a chance to rock that we do, y'all. Y'all know how to do it.
Absolutely.
That project is probably going to be there like the next 3 months, man. So just keep looking for it, man. And it's called Trying to Chuck. the Raw Project featuring Chuck the Bless Rock. So y'all look for me, man. And Vince, again, I appreciate you for having me on, bro.
Much love, big brother. I definitely appreciate you being on the show. I got to post our picture. If anybody has seen the trailer, the 60-second trailer for the Voices of House Music, there's a picture of myself, Gene Hunt, Chuck, Alan King, Ron Troop, you know, definitely big guys in house. And I appreciate you being here with us, Chuck. Much love. And Deon, do you want to tell Chuck anything about the drop?
Yo, Chuck, thank you so much, man. That is amazing, dude. I can't wait to play that, dude. That is so amazing. You are, dude. Anytime you talk, I don't care what you say. I always hear, and this is fresh at the end of it. I don't care what you could be ordering some wings, just end it with, and this is fresh. Like, but yo, Chuck, I love you, man. Thank you so much, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You know I'm behind you all the time. Anytime you need me, you hear me? Big up, man. Shout, love, appreciate you.
Right back at you, bro. Right back at you.
Yes, sir. Love.
All right, man.
Much love, big Chuck.
Yeah.
So Deon, brother, man, absolutely incredible being.
Amazing. Yeah, that shocked me for real.
Hey, I'm gonna tell the business a little bit. So check it out. Anytime you text Deon, the answer is love. Anytime you text him, you could be like, "What we eating today?" Love. So I'm like, does that mean we hungry love, or we like look like? Can I get a definition around this love? So I was like, Deon, I appreciate you being on the show, and I got something real special for you. And the response was love. So it's all love, brother. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. And let's round out the conversation about house music, because I mean there could be a little fight in the celebrity world between you, Barack Obama, you know, Taraji Henson. I mean there's some self-professed house heads out there, but tell us what you feel about missing the Chosen Few picnic in a physical form, because that's something that you make your way back to Chicago. Like, I'll tell another story of ours. You hit me on Labor Day, Monday, like VA was popping. I was like, dude, it's Monday. You're like, but something's got to be going on. I was like, dude, people have been partying since Wednesday. He's like, dude, call somebody. There's something going on. So I mean, these are true stories. So the deal is, we don't have a physical picnic this year. Give us your feeling about what the house picnic means for you, not having it this year, but at the same time, they're going virtual for about 8 to 10 hours. So the world can experience this. You know, what has the house picnic meant to you as a celebrity house head, making your way back home?
Man, it's always great, man. I have not been there in a couple years because every year, man, I don't know why. The devil be so busy, man. I can never make it down there. But I mean, it's also good. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. That I just can never make it back to Chicago for that, man. So a lot of times it's because I'm working, which is good. God is good. I'm doing other things or whatever, but I just never can really make it back there at the time, man. I'm always something always happens. But the times that I have been, man, it's just. It's proof that our city can come together with almost 100,000 people without no violence, no anything, come together, all in the spirit of music and show what music does, man. Once again, man, I don't care who you are. You get around our scene, you listen to our music and our energy, it shows you it's nothing but love, man, nothing but love. So, you know, for us to be able not to do that this year, you know, it's tragic. You know, what we're dealing with in the world is so much going on in the world right now that it's like, you know, we got to take care of each other right now, and our energy has to shift or whatever, you know. So I still think it's gonna be plenty love, you know, virtually with it, you know, but. You know, that not being able to have that physical contact with people is just, we living in a different world now.
Absolutely.
And, it's the beginning of how it's going to be. So, you know, I hate that it's like that, but it is what it is. But we still still gonna have a great time. And one good thing about it, I'll be able to make it this year.
You'll be there.
I'll be able to see it virtually.
So here's how we'll close out, brother. What's next for you on this music thing? So it was important for me to pull you here because, I asked the public, I said, what is it that you want me to ask Deon about his love for house music as well as being a DJ? Because sometimes something that you're good at, like being a comedian, being a writer, turns into a job. You've tapped into your passion, and that's what I wanted this entire conversation to be about. There's so many other interviews that'll never ask you, or conversations, because we're family, that will never ask you these questions. I wanted you to be cemented in, the time capsule when somebody breaks this open in 2080, and they can say, oh man, this is like a different experience, and you certainly have put that in there. Do me a favor as it relates to this passion. What's next for you? Do you see yourself going live on Twitch and moving your Instagram audience off of there because you didn't get the D-Nice I'm all good button yet? Still on the restarts. So, what's next for you for this, man? When we're able to all be together, you see yourself going public, or is this just your living room dream playing out in front of you?
Man, I have no idea right now, man. I just know right at this moment, man, I am bringing joy to several people. I get messages in my DM all the time, man. People in hospital beds. People telling me, man, dude, I'm going through it right now, man. I love listening to your music. I ain't never heard it. I'm shazamming it. I hear songs or whatever, and man, I ain't never heard before or whatever. So that's my only goal right now, man. It's just to constantly keep bringing joy to people. Keep taking chances musically, playing stuff that people ain't never heard before. Right. Trying to break music of artists, just get the word out there, using my platform to help out others and to bring more attention and awareness to our culture. And that's just what it is, man. I was talking to Terry Hunter. When Terry was telling me about certain DJs not liking me DJing, and he said that, people was kind of talking shit, you see, he doing this and that and that. And I was telling him, well, my platform ain't your platform. I had a Hollywood agent come to me and go, yo, who was that song? What was that song called? Yes. And I said, yeah, that's Terry Hunter. He was like, oh, I know what it is. He said, I Shazam.
We got to put Teresa. We got to put Teresa out there. If you're gonna, we got to put the diva.
No. Listen.
Gotcha.
He was like, I'm telling you the exact story what happened.
Fair enough.
I Shazammed his name, and I looked up his music, and I loved it, and I went and I purchased some other songs by him. This is what this white dude told me. And I was like, dang, that's great. He was like, yeah, man, if it wasn't for you, I'd never heard. I would have never heard of that. And so, Teresa Griff, that's my girl, man. Teresa is a monster. She got a few hits that I always play. Heavy Row all the time. That's my girl. I was just telling you about the agent dude. He was like, yo, he ain't never heard that kind of music, and he loved it. So for me to use my platform to bring the music to other people, that's what it's about. When I was doing my Netflix special, and I told Terry this, when I was doing my Netflix special, I tried to buy Brenda Russell's song way back when, and I tried to use it as my intro music. And they wanted like $40,000 for it. And so Netflix was like, you ain't gonna pay for it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna pay for it out of my pocket because I want to set the tone. And so they was like, you gonna really do that? I said, yeah, hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. And so one of my agents talked to me, he was like, well, let me ask you something before you do that. When you do this special, are you doing it for people that love you already, or are you trying to get new people? And that hit me hard. I was like this, right. And he was like, you buying a song is gonna make the people that love you already go, yo, that's the kind of shit I love you. But for people like me, for people that don't know you, that song ain't gonna really mean nothing. He was like, you should go out there and just try to get new fans. And that's what it's about. And after that, I did not buy the Brenda Russell song, and I went out there and I went straight for the head. And that's what I did, and that's what ended up happening. I ended up getting new fans. I had a ton of new fans, millions of new fans that came over, and over hundreds of thousands of millions, whatever, all around the world that seen me on Netflix and was like, yo, I like dude, instead of me catering to those that love me already. And so that's how it is musically. I feel like I'm not here to make you that already know me. If you love me and you like me, that's fine. But I'm out to reach other people who ain't never heard these classics. I heard somebody say that too. Yeah, that's all Deon does is play classics. And I'm like, yeah, well, that agent that I work at William Morris Agency ain't never heard The Love I Lost. God damn it, you know what I mean? While you out there while you out there playing songs new songs that make you happy, and not playing the old ones that people ain't never heard before, that's your lane. I'm gonna play new stuff, I'm gonna play old stuff, I'm gonna play all kinds of music or whatever, but you can't forget about those that don't know about music. And so that's what my platform is, you know what I mean? Trying to bring awareness to those that have no idea what this is, and for them to fall in love with it. And my comments, that's all you see. People going, man, what's this song? Yo, what's this? And I Shazammed it. Yo, this is crazy. So that's my lane.
Man,
to do that.
Deon, let's, you know, I would be remiss if I didn't touch on that, because that really spoke to me. And let's just, we're in the same boat to a certain extent. I wanted to do this show because I'm not part of that inner circle. They respect me. They know who I am. They respect my grind. But I was like, if the person on the inner circle told the story, it would be heard by the same people in the inner circle. This story needs to be told by somebody with relationships, but that can bridge the gap, not to commercialize it, but to make it understood so that people have a better level of respect and appreciation for it. And so we're definitely, you know, kindred souls in that sense, that we can reach a whole lot more people or different people that otherwise would never be exposed to this, and they don't want to change it. They're excited because they've never seen it before. So to be able to bridge that gap and have somebody that might have had, let's say, you know, 7,000 followers go to 10,000 just because we gave them a platform and shared a different thing. It's like, you know, don't take the fact that I'm an outsider as that I'm an enemy. I'm actually on your team because I have love, compassion, and respect for your grind. I just want to bring an additional, you know, light to it. So
that's what you're doing, man, and that's what it is. And everybody got to respect that. They got to respect that you're going after a new audience. You've already tapped into the people that love you. They love you. They follow you. They're gonna be down with you. You've made them happy over years and years and years of time. You made them happy. They love you. They love you. But what about that new head, man? Them new people. The world is so huge, Vince. It's so huge. And that's the problem with our people, and even in our culture. We're so busy caught up into just our movement and our song and our this and that. The world is huge. And you don't know it till you know it, which is what I said in the get-go. Once you know how big the world is, man, you start going after people that you start dealing with people that had no idea who you was. I was at the car wash one day, and this woman pulled up and was like, yeah, y'all still shining shoes? And I'm looking at her like, she came right up to me like, yo, y'all still shining shoes? And I was like, ma'am, I ain't shining no motherfucking shoes. I was like, I'm getting that phantom down there detail. She was like this, oh, I'm so sorry, and pulled off. And I sat there and I was like, everybody don't know me. Everybody don't know me, man. And I got work to do. I got work to do. The world is huge. And for you just to keep making the people that love you more, that's fine. If they gonna love you, they gonna love you. But your job is to reach other people. This platform you got, you doing that. And that's what it's about. And that's why the platform I got, I'm reaching people that the best DJ in Chicago can't.
Fair enough.
And that's all my job is to do. Show them this music and then introduce them to you. Be like, yo, hey, you like that? you need to see Vince. You need to see Vince Adams get down. Or you like that music that I play? Oh shit, you gonna really love Terry. You know, and that's all it is. Like you said, it's bridging the gap, man. That's all my job is, to bridge the gap.
Well, I'm going to end this the way that you always end it, and that's with love, brother. I think that this show for everybody brought another side of Deon Cole to the table that they haven't had an opportunity to get to know, like myself and Terry and so many other, Terry Hunter, for those who don't know, have been able to just meet you and understand, man, I'm busy, I've got a lot going on, but my roots are my roots. I'm the same Deon from back in the day, from all jokes aside and everything else that anybody has experienced. My man, Evan Roll out in Texas was like, I remember Deon from the open mic nights down at the dating game on Stony Island. Yeah. So there's a lot of hometown love for you, but at the same time, you've gone from an actor, a comedian, a househead to an icon, brother. And we're so excited about everything that it is that you're doing. I'm going to ask you to hold on just for a second before we drop the line and go ahead and wrap up. And so, family, we have my brother Deon Cole. And before I go, Deon, any last words you want to say? I don't want to stop you short because, you're on the road.
Love, though. Thank you to everybody that support. Every Sunday, 11 a.m. West Coast time, we go live. We play good music, man. That's what we do, man. But thank you to everybody, man. Shout out to all the great DJs in Chicago, man. I appreciate you inspiring me. And, man, thank you, and keep doing what you're doing, best. Love you, boy.
Much love back to you, because I know all my journalism majors were about to freak out, and I'm not a journalism major. So I'm like, hey, I'm doing the best job I can. But I hope you guys had a good time right here with the Voices of House Music, your man, DJ Vince Adams. Much love to my brother, Deon Cole. Like I said, we've been in the trenches coming up together. Super excited about everything he has going on. Don't forget, #Snap. Sounds like a plan that you guys come back next week for the next edition of the Voices of House Music. We're going to take it in a different direction. We got a label owner, super producer, incredible DJ. My brother Vic Lavender is going to be here from Sophisticado Records next week. You don't want to miss that, because it's going to be an education not only in music, but the inner workings of the business of house music and the music industry as well. So that's absolutely some new news that everybody needs. So with that being said, don't forget, we're absolutely on Spotify podcast, Apple Podcasts, growing each and every day. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for your attention. And this is going to be a replay right here on Facebook, but we're now growing that YouTube audience as well, so you can catch the replays there tomorrow. Much love, family. Voices of House Music, DJ Vince Adams. We gone.
That boy good.